Hello and welcome. You join me, ADG, and here we are for race 6 of the Gran Turismo Touring Car Championship, brought to us by the much loved and well known Mature Racing Club on Facebook. And this is race 6, like I've already said. So this is Monza, the second race of 2 that held on Friday nights. So this is the reverse grid race determined by the results from Suzuka race 5, which you can go back and watch on my YouTube if you've missed it. So without much further ado, we will go through the grid order. We've got Street Boy in first position. Quickly go on board. He's in the Nissan GTR. Robust Hood is in second in the GTR. We've got Ginger Crackhead in third in the GTR, so a very popular car choice throughout the Fusion field. ADG 123 in fourth in the TT, Audi TT. Fifth is White Shark Phil in the Honda NSX. Sixth is Rick 33 GTR in the Jaguar F-Type. Faithless Emo in 7th in the GTR. We've got JRC in 8th in the GTR. Ribber takes up 9th position in the GTR. CJW is in the GTR as well in 10th. Chewy breaks up the field of GTRs a little bit in the Lamborghini. Then we've got Dawson in the GTR in 12th. White Shark Jim, nearly said Phil, White Shark Jim in the Ford Mustang in 13th. And then right at the back, we have Moz 14th in the Nissan GTR. So we'll jump back on board with Pulse Street Boy. Look back as we get this one underway. The GTRs no doubt will get a reasonable start here. So there we go, little jump start, a bit further back from the Jaguar. Jaguar of White Shark Phil. Still manages to get it off the line nicely though, so challengers. As we see Street Boy getting a good start, Robertson getting a good start, those guys all falling in to take the first chicane nice and neatly. Monza T1 first lap is notorious for big mistakes, so as we watch the guys punching up behind but all getting through rather neatly, a bit of argy-bargy. Rick loses out a little bit as he gets bumped wide as there were 3 cars coming out of the first chicane, which is never wide. So Rick got a little bit of a bump, ended up on the grass and lost a little bit of momentum and dropped back a few places. But we have Faithless Emo in 4th, White Shark Phil in 5th, and ADG 123 making a move on White Shark Phil down the inside into the second chicane. Tiny touch of contact as there's different lines going on as we meet each other at the apex, and I get myself up into 5th. Phil now into 6th, we've got JRC in 7th. Rick 33 in 8th. So Rick having an unfortunate time through the first chicane, as I've already mentioned, dropping back a few positions. As we see Chewy in the Lamborghini going for an overtake now, lining up the opportunity down into the Ascari chicane on lap 1. Oh, a bit of contact from CJW as it all concertinas into the Ascari chicane. And the guys behind have nowhere to go, so a little bit of contact as everyone gets heavy on the brakes, but no harm done. We've got CJW and River side by side challenging for 10th position, and then the guys behind trying to make the way into the race at the end of lap 1. Good exit from River and CJW running it side by side. CJW not giving much room, but still being fair. River just about manages to make the move with the slipstream from the Jaguar in front. Just gives him the overall pace to pull past CJW, even though they were both in the Nissan GTR. And then the heavy again on the brakes for the second time into the first chicane. We see Chewy getting it a little bit wrong, so he gets reset to track. Unfortunately, it looked like there was some ghosting issue there, and as Chewy was getting reset to track, Rick just hit the back of his car, thinking that he probably could drive through. It looked like he was ghosted, so I'm not entirely sure what was going on there. Probably another Gran Turismo Sport special, where you're just not explained in any way, shape or form. So Chewy losing a position now to River in front as well as he makes his way through the second chicane. Meanwhile, we'll jump a little bit further ahead with the leaders. Street Boy still in first position. If we look back, we've got Robert Hood in second and ADG in third. Faithless Emo in fourth. Ginger Crackhead in fifth. Oh, and then in the background, just seen someone spearing off the track at 100 miles an hour. We'll go back and see who that was. It looks like Dawson. So let's go back and catch the action, see what happened here. So he's side by side with Moz, one of our Hungarian friends. Running it side by side into the second Degner, not much room being given, forced onto the grass there from Moz, and Dawson just spins it as he has no traction with two wheels on the grass, has nowhere to go, a bit of argy-bargy, and he finds himself the victim of one of the Hungarians coming through there, right down into 14th place as well, so not great there for Dawson, but if there's anyone that's capable of coming back through the field, I dare say Dawson's one of them, but he shouldn't have to. The moments like that, we do not like seeing it in the Fusion lobby, and more than that, I'll add a little bit more to that, we don't like seeing it whatsoever in any lobbies, but understandably a little bit further down, the guys aren't quite as experienced, and it's maybe a bit more expected, let's say. So CJW looking at the pack in front, trying to chase his way back onto the back of Chewy, the Lamborghini. River is now right on the back of White Shark Phil, looking to get 7th position, and potentially, if it all goes right, maybe even get past JRC in front and make it up into 6th. JRC going defensive, he's seeing what's going on behind him nice and early. Phil just goes for a dive down the inside, but realises early that he's got his braking wrong, so lets off the brake, make sure that he doesn't cause any contact at the apex, which is the right thing to do, even though it's just ruined his corner. River losing out a little bit there as well, dropping back. But yeah, a few little moments going on here. So White Shark Phil, like we just said, missed the first corner there, got the braking wrong, but backed out of it and did the right thing, even though he sacrificed his own position there. He made sure that he didn't cause any contact, which was looking inevitable at one point. Do excuse me, I'm new to this, I'm a beginner. So meanwhile, we've got Faithful Seymour getting onto the back of the train in front. I've got myself up into first position now in the Audi TT. It seemed really strong around Monza, and basically if you were in the slipstream of the car in front, you were catching them up pretty quickly, able to overtake pretty quickly as well. So we've got from 2nd to 4th chasing each other pretty closely in a bit of a train. Street Boy, Robertson, Ginger Crackhead and Faithful Seymour all looking for the podium spots remaining. Got Chewy slowly getting into this race, so you can see the pack in front, they're bunching up, slowing each other down, so we'll be making time on the guys in front, so long as Chewy can keep it nice and neat inside. He goes a little bit wide mid-corner through Parabolica there in front, and just about manages to keep it from going on the AstroTurf going wide. Meanwhile behind we've got CJW and White Shark Jim side by side, GTR versus Ford Mustang. At the moment CJW has just about got the better of White Shark Jim and got through up into 8th. Will Jim come back at him on the brakes? Nope, not this time round anyway. So CJW making another position up into 8th, good move, and secures it nicely by getting the braking done into T1. So a bit further back we've got River trying to make his way back into this race, Moz trying to make his way back into this race as well. He started right at the back, he's now in 11th, but they'll certainly be making the way through as quickly as possible, these guys. They're not slow. Dawson unfortunately still right at the back. It was a big incident that he had, so it's dropped him a lot of time off even the guy who's in 13th, Rick, at the moment. But we'll keep an eye on Dawson as the race goes on and see if he manages to claw any positions back out of this one. So again, we'll skip up the camera angle, start flicking through the field and just keep an eye on the action. The midfield battle is quite a battle in this one, so I'll have to try and keep my eye on what's going on and the position changes. At the moment we've got Jim, CJW and JRC incredibly close together, bumper to bumper still. Meanwhile in front we've got Street Boy and Faithful Seymour side by side. Oh sorry, no, it's yeah, Street Boy, Faithless, Emo and nope, I'll get my names right in the end. We've got Chewy, Street Boy and oh my god, brain's gone to mush. I'm gonna have a minute to myself. I was right, it was Chewy who's just made the move On Faithful Seymour and Street Boy, I was getting the livery of Faithful Seymour and Ginger Crackhead mixed up a little bit there. That's why I couldn't quite work out who it was, despite the fact that it's all there to see on the left hand side. So Faithful Seymour goes deep on the brakes, does exactly the same as what we saw from Jim a lap before, where it's going to make contact. It's inevitable. If you dive down the inside, you've got your braking wrong on T1 at Monza, you are going to hit the car that's turning into the apex. So these guys showing a bit of experience, once they've realised they've got that braking wrong, they're not going to get it stopped. They actually get out of the brake, let the car speed up a little bit as they head into the apex and just overshoot the corner, making sure that there's no victim from their mistake. So good driving actually seen, but obviously it does look quite bad because it does cause a bit of an incident, but at the same time it's the wise thing to do to save everyone's race. So I can't stress that enough. Some good decisions being made after a bit of a mistake on the brakes into T1. I dare say that won't have happened in the other leagues that are racing on Friday night as well. So just going from the top, I am proud to say for a change that I am in the lead of this race in a Fusion lobby. So that probably won't happen again, and I will make the most of this one. So ADG 123 in first, Ginger Crackhead in second. Ginger Crackhead having a bit of grief from his feisty brother trying to challenge him for third position, coming through into Parabolica now. Ginger Crackhead down the inside. Robert's Hood nowhere to go, so that allows Chewy to follow Ginger Crackhead down the inside as well. As Chewy's now well and truly tucked into the slipstream of Ginger Crackhead in front. Let's see what Chewy can do here. Can he make a move and make an opportunity, if not two? So Ginger Crackhead and Robert's Hood side by side. Robert's down the inside. Ginger Crackhead backing out of it a little bit, but allows Chewy to come through as Chewy just carries the momentum through the first corner a little bit better. We saw someone else getting replaced to the track there after going deep into T1 again. I think it was Faithful Seymour again that time round. Bit unfortunate, so he's losing positions as he keeps getting reset to track. Got CJW right on the back of JRC, putting plenty of pressure on as they head into the second chicane. Tricky braking zone again. For those that aren't familiar with Monza, it's just long straights and tricky chicanes basically. This is another little tricky section through the two Lesmos. As long as you get turned in nicely through the first one, you don't run too wide on the exit, you should be okay. So JRC just pulling a little bit of a gap through those last couple of corners over CJW. Street Boy is now right on the back of CJW, trying to give him something to think about. Meanwhile, we've got River and Moz, the two Hungarians behind, looking to make the way up the field as quickly as possible. These guys are aggressive drivers, but they make the opportunities work when they arise in front of them. There has been a little mention of being too aggressive, but that's not for me to conclude on what happens about that. So River getting through up in 7th. Street Boy nice now sandwiched in between the two Hungarian guys, River and Moz. You see a bit further ahead, we've got a move going on from Chewy on Robert's Hood. He's already got it done before the braking zone as well. So he's just able to take the racing line into T1, which helps to get a good exit through the second part of it, to then come through the Curva Grande at full speed. Chewy doing a great job to get himself up into second. He's worked hard in this race so far to make the positions. Robert's Hood unfortunately having to just drop back in behind Chewy and take third position at the moment. Ginger Crackhead looking very keen to get past his brother though. The issue with these two is it's GTR versus GTR battle, so it's not always the easiest to overtake when you're both in the same car. JRC still leading away from CJW, now in 5th and 6th. Ribber looks like he's having some trouble getting past CJW in front as well. He's been following him for a good few laps now without much progress happening. A little bit further back it looked like Street Boy was under attack from White Shark Jim, but looks like White Shark Jim's just thought better of it and dropped back in behind as they head through the Scary Chicane. So we're on lap 7 now, coming towards the halfway marker of the race, a little bit shy but not far off. Just going through the complete order again at the back. In fact, we'll start right at the back and go through from 14th to 1st. So we've got Rig 33 GTR in 14th, Dawson in 13th now, Faithful Seamer in 12th. Bit of an unfortunate race, he's dropped back a few positions. White Shark Phil in 11th. White Shark Jim trying to make the move on Street Boy in 10th at the moment. Might find himself in 9th as we speak though. Looks like Ribber making a move a little bit further ahead as well. So White Shark Jim gets the job done, gets past Street Boy, now up into 9th. Moz is in 8th now. Ribber in 7th. CJW in 6th. So as you can see, there's not much going on as far as gaining a gap is concerned in this race. Everyone's still really bunched up on lap 8, all following in a bit of a slipstream train, which is handy down the long straights but not necessarily through the fast corners. Oh, a bit of a moment there from CJW, so he's lost the position to Ribber as he just dives through. CJW just going a little bit wide, opened up the apex a little bit, and Ribber was not going to be asked again. Took his first invitation. Oh, Chewy going a little bit deep through there. Picks up a little bit of gravel as he makes his way through a Scary. Got the line completely wrong there, and the Scary chicane being such a fast chicane, if you get the line wrong on the entry, it has a knock-on effect for the following two parts of the chicane as well. So one little mistake and you're gathering it up all the way through, as we saw Chewy doing there, which has unfortunately lost him a little bit of pace, so now he's got a hell of a battle on his tail with Ribber, JRC, a few of the guys jumping in the pits this time round. So these guys are all getting promoted with positions now as the pit stops are happening. So these guys are now battling for second position. All of a sudden they're battling for the podium spots. Look at this, great action, all bunching up but giving each other respect. It's got to be said, you cannot get through that corner without giving a little to the driver next to you. If you're not prepared to give any kind of space to the guy next to you, then either you or your competitor will have a big mistake through there and lose loads of time, so it's just not worth it. And we see that from the intelligence of the experienced Fusion guys there, all just trying to find the position to come through and get a good exit instead of battling each other through the mid corner, and especially through that first chicane. It's almost impossible. JRC finding himself on the outside as Moz just takes the opportunity to go down the inside, gets through nicely. Looked like a good move. Looked like JRC just found himself side by side, stuck on the outside and couldn't quite close off the fast approaching Moz. Moz has now got past CJW as well, so Moz is on a bit of a run at this point in the race. CJW with a great defence into the Scary chicane. That's brilliant driving there to see, and again keeping it nice, clean and respectful between the drivers. But CJW wasn't having that and thought, nope, you're not having that so easily, I'm going to cut that move off. Just runs it a little bit wide through parabolic of the CJW, so we have Moz trying to get down the inside, side by side now. And because of that, he'll have the run all the way down the inside into T1. Will CJW back out and try and get the run through the exit, or will he challenge it on the brakes and try and keep as much pressure. Oh, it looks like he's going on the brakes to CJW, so trying round the outside. A little bit of contact as they lean on each other, putting a bit of pressure on each other into that corner. Bit of bunching up behind as the concertina effect starts happening. White Shark Jim goes into the back of JRC, but no big deal. So Moz doing a great job that time through the first chicane, and CJW with that attempt around the outside lost a little bit of pace on the exit, and he's dropped Moz in front a little bit. But he had to try and make it work because he was side by side, so he wasn't just going to back out. So a great bit of action between that pack of drivers. Robert Hood had a few little moments of dropped him back now, same as Ginger Crackhead, so they find themselves in 7th and 8th after running towards the top at the beginning. We've got side by side White Shark Jim and JRC. White Shark Jim just getting the move done before they get to the braking zone for Ascari. Oh, great move! Goes round the outside on the brakes into the first part of the Ascari chicane. There's Jim to make it work side by side on the second part. So that was a really good overtake there from Jim. Nicely executed, great move. Some good racing going on here. Not saying that there isn't normally, but some particularly good overtakes going on in this race so far. Robertson looking for a line to get the run out of Parabolica. JRC diving in the pits this time round. Fair Placimo in 8th, getting involved in this battle as well. Oh, sorry, no, he's involved in the battle with Dawson and River a little bit further back. Dawson just about got his nose ahead into T1. Can he outbrake the guys behind and get to the apex? Yes, he manages nicely. So Dawson threw up into 8th. So Dawson in 14th at the beginning of the race. So he's had a really good comeback race to get himself up into 8th so far. We'll keep an eye on how he manages to do through the remainder of the race. 10 minutes left. Checking on the guys a little bit further back in 11th and 12th. So JRC after a pit stop dropped into 12th now. White Shark Phil in 11th, getting it heavy on the brakes, locking up, so causing a bit of smoke for JRC to drive through there as Phil locks up into the second chicane. JRC not quite getting the run on the exit to get past, but he's right on his bumper to make the move into Ascari if he gets a chance. Rick driving around on his own a little bit in 13th, and Street Boy unfortunately on his own in 14th. So jumping back with the leader, ADG 123. Got a nice gap over second position Chewy at the moment in the Lamborghini. Everything under control at the front really. Moz in 3rd. Moz starting in 14th position, so it's got to be said he's done a great job again in the reverse grid race to make his way through and get himself on the podium as we speak. The race is not over though. CJW in 4th, having a great race is CJW this time out. Looks like there's a battle going on more or less every corner and every single lap between these guys. All 4 of them coming over the line within a split second there, all really close together. So CJW feeling that he doesn't have to defend, he's got enough of a gap into T1, which he was right to do so, manages to carry the pace. Just skip through again, just in the interest of catching as much action as possible. Pretty much a one-make race at certain points in the track is this at the moment. 3 GTRs following each other of Ribber, Dawson and Fair Placimo. Meanwhile in 11th we've got JRC with pressure on from Phil behind. Again we'll skip a bit higher up into the midfield battle that seems to be giving us a lot of entertainment. Ginger Crackhead, Robust the Hood, White Shark Jim and CJW giving us a hell of a battle to watch during this race. Go on board with Ginger Crackhead just to mix up the perspective a little bit. 7 minutes to go now. And we're on lap 12 as we speak. Coming into Parabolica. Looks like Roberts is looking down the inside of Jim but doesn't commit on the brakes to an actual move. He's just looking to maybe spot his braking point. Can be tricky sometimes when there's a group of cars in front actually spotting exactly where you normally brake. So CJW running a little bit wide through Parabolica this time round, which loses him just a little bit pace. Coming down the straight allows White Shark Jim to jump ahead of him and Robust Hood. CJW just looking for some kind of gap now. It sounded like Ginger Crackhead backed off wisely there just to try and find some kind of position to get through. It all just about managed to work its way out through T1 there, and CJW losing a few positions through that lap, or should I say the exit of Parabolica on lap 12. But knowing CJW, he's not giving up easily and he'll be looking to get those back. Robert Hood making his way back into this race. He had a really good start, was hovering around the podium and then dropped back a little bit, and now he's making his way well and truly back into this race. He's pulled the gap as he's got past these guys as well, so he's now gapping a little bit to White Shark Jim in front. On board with Ginger Crackhead at the moment from his perspective for watching all this. Ginger Crackhead getting close to the cars in front but just not quite having the pace to be able to get alongside into the braking zones, so he just has to sacrifice braking behind the car in front nice and neatly, making sure there's no dramas, and then looking to get it hooked up through the apexes to get a good run and try on the next straight, as we've just seen him do there through Ascari. Now he's right on the bumper of CJW. He's got the slipstream. Can he make it work into Parabolica? Will he dive on the brakes? Nope, CJW goes quite late on the brakes, so it would have been a tricky move to get that one done. But it does have a little bit of a touch on the back of CJW as he goes a little bit deep again on the exit of Parabolica. Whoa, it's close stuff between these guys. A little bit of a flash as CJW realised that he just rubbed along the side of Ginger Crackhead for no real reason, so acknowledges his little mistake there. Not that it caused any drama, but acknowledges, puts his hand up and says sorry. Good to see. Good driving standards throughout the Fusion grid this season. Obviously it's my first time in Fusion, but I have heard a few horror stories in seasons go by about the Fusion lobby, but I am pleased to report that none of it seems to have been true really, and there seems to be a really good standard of driving, good pace kept and good consistent driving throughout the field, which is what pretty much anyone that gets into league racing is looking for. So I'll quickly go through the order again just to give myself the one and only bit of credit I will ever have from a Fusion race, actually leading it. So I've got myself in first. I won't dwell on that though, it's a bit boring watching a car drive round on its own. Chewy in second, Moz in third, Roberts Hood in fourth. Like I say, Roberts having a great second stint to this race. If you look at it as two different stints, that's the way I look at it normally, these half an hour races. Roughly there's generally, depending on the car anyway, there's going to be a pit stop roughly halfway through, so I always split it up almost into two stints and look at it like that, so that's why you might hear me refer to it like that sometimes and wonder what I'm on about. Let's keep an eye on CJW. Oh no, it's slightly further behind him now, so it's Ginger Crackhead and Ribber that are going at it down the straight. Monza provides a lot of action into T1 with the slipstream down this long straight, and the difference in exits and difference in technique out of the Parabolica, the last corner at Monza. It makes for some interesting moves. So this battle is still not over, and we've only just got over 2 minutes left. So the battle for 6th position is anyone's at the moment. CJW doing a great job of defending it and trying to keep it his own. The race is not over in front as well. Slightly ahead of these guys, we still have the battle of Robert Hood and White Shark Jim going on. There's not a big gap in between at all, so it could all boil down to the last lap, this one. Hopefully, I think I've worked it out right, and this isn't the last lap. I think we'll get another lap in after this one. CJW is giving us a lot of action this race. The CJW side by side with River at the moment. GTR battle again. Oh, we've seen that a few times from a few of the guys. It's a daring move, I've got to say, and I haven't really considered trying it off of myself because it seems like a risky one, but we've seen it executed quite nicely from a few of the guys tonight, and that's going around the outside into the Scary chicane, knowing that if you do manage it, you've got the inside for the second part of the chicane. So really well executed there from River, and I dare say it was without contact that as well, so a good move to get past CJW. CJW now having a bit of grief from the fast approaching Ginger Cracker, looking for his 6th position, 7th, sorry. I don't think there's a great deal going on further ahead. We'll keep an eye on Robert and Jim to see what happens there, but meanwhile we'll keep an eye on this. Bunching up again with the concertina effect as Robert Hood just goes into the back of CJW with nowhere to go through the first chicane. So at the moment CJW has dropped a position. He was doing really well in 6th position, but Rivers pinched that off him. Let's see if we can keep 7th from the fast approaching and attacking Ginger Crackhead. Been a really good race to watch from these guys though. Really been putting the pressure on each other, and that just makes for some brilliant racing to watch. One tiny mistake and you're dropping back. And that's oh, look at this, Dawson all of a sudden getting involved. So side by side into the first Lesmo, sorry. And it just manages to get the run on Ginger Crackhead. So great move right at the end of the race from Dawson. We are on the last lap now. Let's see, I normally jump towards the leaders to watch them come over the line, but I kind of want to keep an eye on this. I think CJW heading into Parabolic has enough of a gap over Dawson, unless Dawson has a late dive and gets it done on the brakes. I've just finished in first, come over the line. Chewy will be shortly following it. So no, Dawson doesn't quite go for the lunge on the last corner. Let's jump up to the podium finishers. Chewy coming over the line in 2nd, Moz in 3rd, Robert Hood finally keeps White Shark Jim at bay, and Jim actually loses a position to River in the end, so River comes home in 5th, White Shark Jim in 6th, CJW in 7th, Dawson in 8th, Ginger Cracker in 9th, JRC in 10th. You can see how quickly they've all come over the line, I can't keep up. Faithless Emo in 11th, White Shark Phil in 12th, and Rick 33 GTR pulling the handbrake, nearly went into the pits, but there's no harm done because he is the last finisher in 13th, with Street Boy already finishing the last lap before this one in 14th. So that concludes race 6. Thank you very much for joining me. I've thoroughly enjoyed these 2 races. I'm really enjoying doing the commentary videos this championship. The Fusion Lobby Elite has not disappointed, and it's providing me with plenty of action to commentate over, so that's all you can really ask for when you're doing these videos. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Take care, see you again soon, look after yourselves, and yeah, I will look forward to seeing you all at Alsace Village and Dragon Gardens, the next 2 races in round 4. See you again soon. Bye for now. Do all that good stuff. Hit the like button, subscribe, and feel free to share it. See you again soon, and I'll say it again just to make it about 10 times. See you again soon. Bye for now. Adios.